Hey everybody, welcome to a quick review of EDF 204's Blackboard shell. I know that some of you had questions and using Blackboard for all of your course content was newer for some of you, so I wanted to make sure that you felt comfortable in what we were doing. Each week I post a welcome announcement, so you can see here this is going to be the announcement for week 2 that I'm getting ready to launch. And during that announcement, I usually share some information to help you get ready for class. I'll be adding the link for the video I'm making right here. And then there is the Google Slideshows. It's linked in that we looked at in the first week of class. If you click on this link, it will take you into the Google Slideshow that we looked at. This should be familiar to most of you. You'll notice that some of the content that's in this first Google Slideshow, we didn't get completely through it. We'll continue to work our way through the content over the next few weeks, but still the information should be helpful to many of you if you were looking to review that content. And then when you're back in our Blackboard shell, I've also linked in our class notes. And so what I'd like you to do before class is to check out the syllabus and the calendar. They're over here under this course documents link, and see if you have any questions. Then I'd like you to open up the Google Doc class notes. And this is the document we used last week. We'll be using this every week, so you'll want to save this link in your Google Drive, or just save it wherever you're saving links right now. So you'll notice I've already created the new week. We're going to talk about appropriate use of technology, and in class I'd like you to feel really comfortable with adding information that I share that you feel like is important for the class. So maybe if I say, one way to use tech is, I'd like you to be sharing that information in our class notes. And ideally, you're looking to share about 2 facts in every class. If you share more some weeks, that's awesome. If you share less some weeks, just as long as we average out at about 2 shares per student, then we should have a really nice global set of notes that we can refer back to. You'll notice that I've included the table again that we used last week, and then the topic is over here, questions that you might have about the syllabus, the course calendar, or the modules. If you don't have any questions, then I'd like you to share something that you've learned. In other words, I want you to type either what you've learned or a question, but I want everyone to engage. I'm going to use our class notes this week to score your in-class assignment. So you'll want to make sure that you complete those class notes as we move forward. So link to the class notes is here. I'd also like you to go in and in this Google Slides that I created for our class, I'd like each of us to get a chance to introduce ourselves. Since we're on 3 different campuses, sometimes it's hard to feel connected to everybody, and I want to make sure you have that opportunity. So in this template, you're going to open it up, and you might be the first one to open it up, in which case you would be student number 2. But if people have filled in multiple slides, just keep scrolling down until you find an empty slide. And once you click on the slide, if you see somebody's picture pop up or their initials here, then you're going to know they're getting ready to type on that slide, and you'll want to go down to a slide where nobody is currently typing. So on your slide, I want you to add your name, and then here I'd like you to add some facts. You can add some pictures. And be sure to tell what campus you're on, if you're at Richmond, Corbin, or Manchester. You don't have to go in the same order as we have our other sheet, but just be sure you tell us that. If you are newer to using Google, then know that there's a few different ways you can add pictures. You can always drag pictures in from your computer directory. Also, you can click on this insert box and you can insert all kinds of different things, whether you want to add a new text box, whether you want to add images. That gives you some choices. You can upload it from your computer. It can take you to your Google Drive, to your photos directly, however you want to access that. But just be sure you're adding some pictures. In my other classes, if people didn't have pictures yet uploaded to their computer, they just went online and searched for, some people looked for pictures of dogs or cats that looked like their pets. Some people found cute clip art they wanted to add. Some people put in Bitmojis. Whatever you'd like to do is fine with me, but just make sure you add some details to your slides. We're going to share these out in class, so you'll want to make sure you've done that before class so that you're ready to share and can listen to everybody else. In the announcements each week, I'll always tell you what's coming up, and this matches the course calendar. So if you're looking at the course calendar, you'll see in Module 2, you're going to complete the module quiz. And this week, we're going to complete a key assessment document. There's always an in-class assignment listed. Sometimes I'll actually have you add something in. Last week, I went ahead and gave you points based on your participation in our class notes, and I'm going to do the same thing this week to give you all time to get comfortable. A few other things I wanted to make you aware of, besides the fact that you need to carefully check our announcement every week. You're going to want to keep up with class questions, and we talked about it really quickly in class. So there's a spot here that says if you upload the wrong information, you will email Amanda Murphy. She's the GA working with our class. So if you uploaded another class's assignment into ours, or you uploaded something that wasn't the correct information, just email Amanda, and here's her email, and she will change that out for you. Under General Course Questions, I want everybody to click on this, and I want you to click the subscribe button. Anytime you have questions about course content, I want you to email them, or I'm sorry, I want you to post them here rather than emailing me. 3 different students emailed me the same question, and it would have been so helpful if you'd posted it here, and then the other 2 people would have been able to find the answer here. So I'll just remind you of the procedure. You're going to click on Create Thread, and you're going to ask a really specific question. So maybe, how do I complete Module 1 in-class assignment? This was the question that was emailed to me. And then you could say, I'm not sure what I need to submit for this assignment. Can you help me? So had you posted the questions here, then I would have gotten that by email, and so would all of your friends. You'll click on that submit button here, and everyone would have gotten that by email. So for those people that had already checked their grades, they know that I had already given grades for that, so they could have answered that. But if not, then I would have clicked on this, or you could click on this to answer the question. The question pops up here, and then you're going to click reply, and you'll answer the question, and then we'll be able to see that. That saves a lot of time for everyone. If a question's already been answered, you can just go and find that rather than having to wait for me to answer you by email. All right, so that's the question spot. Make sure that you've reviewed the syllabus and the calendar before class, and we looked at those. Those are Google Docs. As a quick reminder, I'm going to open up the calendar. I would really recommend you print this out and put the dates in whatever calendar system you use. But you can definitely print out a copy and check it off as we go along. You can do that one of 2 ways. Click on File. If you make a copy, it's going to move it into your personal Google Drive. That's a great thing to do. The other option is you can download it either as a Word document or as a PDF file, and then save it to your computer and print it out. So both of those are great options, but I would definitely recommend that you do that. The same is true for all of the learning modules. Okay, so let's check out the learning module for Module 2 to kind of give us a jump start into what that's going to look like. So keep in mind, every module you're going to have an advance organizer. And unless I give you directions that say I want you to turn all or part of that in for the week, this is just for your learning to help you be comfortable with the content. You'll want to check it every week because there's lots of extra resources in here. So for example, in Module 2, we're looking at appropriate use of technology, and we're going to be using some more tech accounts. So you're going to see all kinds of hyperlinks here. The important thing to remember about the content in the Advanced Organizer, a lot of times I'm going to give you multiple options for learning. So I might link in an article, a video, maybe a PowerPoint that I found or a Google Slides, but I'll give you lots of different resources usually. And if you already know everything about that topic, maybe you've already studied netiquette in another class, then you would just want to open it up, say, yep, I'm right, I know what this is all about. Then you don't have to continue your study on that. You're just going to write down your answers. I'd recommend that you go ahead and fill this out so that you have a personal copy. But if you feel like, I don't need to write it down, that's fine. Just know that the quiz questions that you're going to answer in every module, that module quiz, those questions come directly from the Advanced Organizer. So you want to make sure you understand the big concepts. Now, several of you had questions about, well, how do I type on this? It's view only, and that's a great question. It's the same thing for all Google Docs. You're going to go up to File again and either make a copy that'll put it in your Google Drive and you can type on it there, or download it as a Word document and then you can type on it that way. So in this module, we're going to be looking at how to be cyber safe, both for ourselves and to help our students be safe. I want you to start creating an ethical use statement on computer use that you would share for your students. So maybe your ethical use statement might be something like, with all technology, I want to use kind words that can be read by everyone and only upload images for which I have permission. That might be my ethical use statement. We're going to keep building on it, so don't feel like there's a perfect answer, a right answer. It's just a start of a conversation. So you'll definitely want to make sure you've got that in writing somewhere. You'll note here it says we're going to be putting this in our key assessment. Every time you see that note, know that that's really important, and remember that that key assessment that we're going to learn more about in the next few weeks is part of the requirements for passing the class. So you'll want to make sure that you really focus on those parts. After that, you're going to see a section that's called Great Resources, and these are just some of my top absolute favorite places that I go to learn about technology. We'll be doing this a few times in the semester. There's about 15 go-to resources that I use, and here's our kind of first set. So I'd recommend that you bookmark those. For those of you that haven't bookmarked something before, if you are in your Google Chrome, and we've practiced that before. So here I am in my EKU Google Drive, and you'll see I'm in Chrome, and we talked about the apps in our first class. So if I click somewhere, I've got my cursor somewhere where there's nothing else, and I use my control option or my right clicking, this menu pops up and it says I can add a folder. I'm going to add a folder. And in that new folder, I'm going to call this one Technology Links. If you keep shorter names, so that's a long name, I'm going to rethink that. I'm going to do Tech Links, that's shorter. You notice here it popped up here, and then I can copy and paste all kinds of links. So you'll see here under trauma, I've got several go-to resources. Behavior, I've got a resource. Teaching supports, I've got a few resources. So these are where I kind of put all my favorites. And so the tech links would be a great spot for you to link these websites. And then it's important that when we have conversations that you know something about each of those. So I want you to kind of share what you've learned. Maybe so at Edudemic, I found this information. Kathy Schrock talks a lot about intellectual property, important things to know. And then you're going to continue down into website accounts and set up a few more accounts. You're going to want to make sure you set up accounts as a teacher and then know what you can use that for down the road. These are all super important websites that I and the other instructors in EDF 204 who are classroom teachers have found absolute go-to sites. We want to make sure that you know how to use early on in your teaching career. All right, so those are the key facts for the Advanced Organizer this week. You'll be completing your Module 2 quiz, and then we're also going to be starting our key assessment information. The other assignment is going to be your in-class participation activity, and I'll be uploading the points for that so you don't have to worry about adding that. Under this key assessment link, this is a new way that we're doing the key assessment. So if you've talked with friends that took EDF 204 in the past, they created a live binder. We've changed over and we're actually going to be using Google Docs this semester. So you'll notice here that you can click on this link for some directions, and you need to name the document with your last name. So mine will be Clark, EDF 204 Key Assessment, and you're going to upload a link here. So following these directions here, I'm going to open up this document, and it's going to give me the instruction or a template that I can use for the EDF 204 technology project. Now I'm going to tell you a secret. The easiest way to do this is to click on File, make a copy, and then change the name of this to match the name of what I gave you. So this will be Clark EDF 204 Tech Project. And then you're going to get a link that you can upload. We'll practice this in class, but I'm just telling you, this is the quick shortcut you'll want to do.